lately. We haven't drawn Displacer in a while, but it has been good when we've drawn it. So I don't think I want to mess with that too much. When I was debating conceding, well, I was kind of debating it just so we can focus a little more. I'll say we haven't. Titan has been really unpopular. Possible we could say no to those. The High Dunes are really important. I think Vexing Baubles are pretty versatile. We could trim a Vexing Bauble though. We don't have to, but I think I do think I kind of want more sideboard for Boros. And then getting into Wrath of God to be a little bit better against Domain Zoo, I think is kind of nice. Although maybe we'll even go like really hard into the Wraths. 5 Wraths is kind of a lot, but maybe Affinity and Boros are both kind of scary. And playing 2 Wrath of Skies and Domain Zoo also. Maybe I do just want to play 3 Wrath of God. It's a lot of Wraths, but they do seem to we are kind of weak to Boros, Domain Zoo, and Prowess. Although Wrath of God's not that good against Prowess. Did I not? I thought for sure I accepted the trade. Did you mention Spine of Isha as Meteor Sword copies, although not fetchable? Well, you also can't just cheat it into play for 2 mana. So it doesn't seem like good. Yeah, but maybe this is the sideboard. Just going really heavy into Wraths. 1 Celestial Purge. Okay, yeah, I think I kind of like that. I think that kind of bridges the gap. I think the 3rd Wrath's kind of a lot, and then it's also good against Boros, Domain Zoo, Prowess. We're maybe a little weak to Neoform now. We still have 4 good sideboard cards against them. No, we probably do need the 3rd Vexing Bauble. Is there a merit to split of Wrath of God, Day of Judgment, or they regenerate creatures running around? Yeah, Affinity sometimes plays a Welding Jar. Maybe we can go down a Phantom. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go down a Phantom and play 1 Purge. Even though Tron is very popular, the matchup is pretty good. And we've been going down to like 1 Solitude, and I haven't really loved doing that since they play all these like Matter Reshapers. I kind of wanted to have the 2nd Solitude, so this is probably fine. Although one thing I guess I don't like about Celestial Purge is that it doesn't get Doorkeeper Thrall. I guess we'll have 8 answers to Thrall postboard anyways. Yeah, Mindcensor's okay against Neoform, but if you have Lab especially, although kind of slow on the draw. You also have High Noon. I don't know. Vexing Bauble is just so versatile too. It's like there's just so many matchups you wanted in. Although we didn't play any of them this league. Get Lost. I think Get Lost is not playable. I've definitely like had Get Lost cast against me a few times in Modern, and like the map tokens were insanely good. Would you run a Wear Tear since you have red mana? So I'm of the opinion if you have 4 red sources in your deck, you don't have red mana. It's like I wouldn't consider playing red cards in my deck with only 4 red sources. All right, let's run it back. Double Meteor Sword, no Labyrinth is tough, but we do have a Stoneforge Mystic for them, and we have Solitude Ephemerate. So I think we probably will kind of begrudgingly keep this and kind of think of it as a mull to 6. If we have to pitch the Stoneforge to Solitude, it's less than ideal. Possibly I should be leading on Temple. Like maybe I'm almost never Solitude Ephemerating this turn. And if I were to draw a Lab or a Temple, I'd be pretty happy. Although maybe I just want to go Vestige plus Ephemerate. So now am I going to Solitude Ephemerate? I mean, I don't... Does this... Wait, how do I not know this? I'm pretty... Yeah, this doesn't come back from exile, right? It does come back from exile? Okay, thank you. I'm just going to Solitude the Cub. It's been a little while since we played Cub. I don't know how I'm brain farting there. All right, we want to dodge a Grist. Crazy that it comes back from exile. So they rumble, they hit a Grist, a Green Sun, and a rumble. They do choose the Grist. And they play the Halfling. Kaldra solos this matchup a lot. I think I'm just gonna put it into play here. Oh yeah, airbending would have been too good against earthbending, huh? It would be utterly unplayable if not. I mean, Wizards prints a lot of utterly unplayable mechanics all the time. Kaldra is pretty good in this matchup, I think. I don't know how this matchup is overall. We definitely got a little equipment flooded here. Mindcensor can be... I think this is probably a matchup to bring in the Mindcensor. I don't know if we're going to bring in all the WraTH. Sideboarding is going to get weird. Think about that a little bit later, I guess. But yeah, if they kill my Stoneforge Mystic with... they don't know that I have another equipment in my hand is one thing. But two, it's like... Are they going to have time? I don't know. They green sun for a cub, so now they have 6 mana. So they got 6 mana, Grist, and 2 other cards in their hand. They have a Yawgmoth. Another Halfling, 1 card left in their hand only. A Ballista, 1/1 Ballista. So they are killing my Stoneforge, which is a bit of a bummer. So now they can double level Ballista. Oh my gosh, they targeted Kaldra. Well, that was a freebie. Why play the Ballista? I don't know. Enough time has passed. No one knows what Kaldra does anymore. Now, is it better to kill Ballista or is it better to kill Cub? I think I'd rather kill the Ballista so I can keep these Stoneforges in play. The Stoneforge in play. Never interrupt your opponent while they're making a mistake. They've top decked the spell. It's a young wolf. They attack with everybody. So if I draw a land, just equipping the sword is pretty tempting. Although I think holding up, I guess I could also hold up Phelia now. Since you said that, no, I said it first. I said it first. I mean, they have a lot of mana. I get to reduce it by 3 if I kill the cub, but I think just holding this up for like a Cauldron or a Yawgmoth or Flash and Phelia is pretty solid. Why can't WotC give black decent enchantment removal? There's some decent enchantment removal. Listen, if this is a common or uncommon, like, listen, we just can't go, this common or uncommon's not that good in Modern. You know, although this kind of doesn't look that bad. Ninjutsu, destroy artifact or enchantment. Ballista, maybe this is like the main... Was this the main thing that I got punished for with my line? Maybe it was. Do we want a color pie or not? We want a color pie. I really don't mind black being able to remove enchantments kind of inefficiently. But the whole black common uncommon being able to destroy enchantments, like, it's a pretty tired conversation in my opinion at this point. I've seen every possible take. I've seen all the realities. So if I draw a land, they can block with the Young Wolf to survive at 1 life. Although then being at 1 life means Yawgmoth is not a good draw. Yeah, I think just making it to where Yawgmoth is not a live draw is going to be better than playing a spell this turn. Is it most enchantment removal uncommon? Yeah, I don't know. I just mostly am tired of, like, every time a black common or uncommon that interacts with enchantments, like, there's a whole, like, conversation about it. It's just I think we're too far past it to be debating this point. They added this to the color pie. Is what it is. Now, notably, you don't get to exile the Young Wolf here because the Undying happens before this happens. We are dead to another Ballista. We might be dead to a Cauldron. I think we're dead to a Cauldron also. They drew Dread Arbor. 5, 4. We're not conceding. All right, get in for 2. They're dead even if I don't equip the other sword. Right? This is 6 stuff. Yeah. Or I guess I actually survived at 0, but I did have to equip the other sword. But obviously I could. Okay, so I do think I want both WraTHs. If I'm playing all these Wraths, then the Seers are maybe not that good. Seers get gummed up on the board a lot too. They can be a little slow. They can be really good though. Mines. I don't know if Mindcensor's good. They're playing Green Sun Zenith usually as their only tutor. It's a bit awkward to bring this in with Wrath of God too, although maybe not that big a deal. Celestial Purge hits Grist and Yawgmoth, two things that are really good to get, but that is all this does in the matchup. Maybe that's still worth playing one copy. Maybe it's not. Let's try this. I think I'll try Mindcensor on the play, not the draw. Would black destroy target creature lose life equal to its mana value be playable in Modern? I mean, it would be playable, yeah. Y'all keeping this on the draw against Yawgmoth? It's a little slow. They don't play Chord anymore. It's just Green Sun. It's crazy to me they don't play Chord, but yeah, they just don't. I mean, like I get it, but you know, just it's wild to think that that's where we're at. I'm gonna keep this one, I guess. It's not exactly better. But once you mulligan once, it's hard to keep fishing. I did board out the Thought-Knot Seers. Probably still play Temple, so if I could draw K command. Is Vendetta legal in Modern? Yeah, toughness is probably worse than mana value, because like a 2 mana value frog is gonna like deal you 6 damage, Flage will deal you 6 damage, Kavu will deal you 5 damage. Moonshadow deal you 7 damage, Guide of Souls deal you 4 damage sometimes. Yeah, maybe the other hand was better. Oh, it's also non-black, yeah. I do actually think I've seen people play that card before, though. None of these deal you any damage, because you can't target them. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, not exactly the card that was described. Close, though. Yeah, I do feel like maybe Death Shadow decks used to play like a copy of Vendetta in the sideboard. I'll scoop to a turn, a Yawgmoth here, I think, if that's what they have. Looks like that's what they have. Okay, game 3 on the play. Let's bring in the Mindcensors on the play. I'm gonna trim a Vestige. I guess I'll trim the Displacer for like the mana curve consideration. Oh wait, I thought I dragged both of them in. I only dragged one in. Did I drag something else in? I mean, I've cut 2 cards, Displacer and a Vestige, and I've added 2 cards. What happened? Why is it 61? Were we 61 last game on accident? What am I missing? Oh, I just dragged the Displacer twice. Oh, I had already cited out the Displacer, then I cited it out again. Okay. I guess I'll just trim a Thresher. Imagine if we had Conquerors here. Yawgmoth holds Conqueror and Curse Totem. A little bit awkward in our Stoneforge Mystic K command deck. I mean, and of course, Clarion Conqueror is very good against Yawgmoth. Does Yawgmoth have enough of a percentage played in Modern right now to even justify a sideboard slot for? Especially when the matchup doesn't seem that bad. Maybe, though. They did mold to 5, which is nice. I'm hoping I could draw a land so like on turn 3 I can hold up Phelia, Mindcensor, and Stoneforge. Just drew my only 2 Threshers, though. I'm going to go ahead and grab a Meteor Sword, I think, when they're on the mold to 5. Maybe they'll Grist minus. They play a Cub. Yeah, Cub tank the Stoneforge is pretty fine. They have a Cauldron, too. So they got 2 cards in their hand. They have 5 mana. If I kill the Cub, they have... oh, they Ballista on 0? So they can go Ballista 0, Cauldron, Ballista, kill my Stoneforge Mystic. This kills the Overgrown Tomb, but it comes back. Very strong turn 2 for a Mold of 5. And I don't draw my third land. Yikes. And there's a creature in the graveyard, so I can't Phelia Ambush. Although maybe I could reset the Cauldron. Alright, I cast Mindcensor. I did it. I boarded a Mindcensor. Yeah, gonna be a tough one. They're gonna get a Grist, I assume. What am I trying to draw? A land for the Thresher could be okay, but they could kill the Thresher before I flicker it with this counter. I guess just like an Ugin's Lab or a Temple for K command. That would be the best. Yeah, I think that's gonna be it there. Tough match. All right, add 4 Clarion Conquerors to the board. We play something else. We keep this on the play. Yeah. If we draw any other land, we could potentially use the Stoneforge Mystic to find the imprintable. It's also kind of fine to be only on 2 lands if we're playing against a not super interactive matchup. Wooded Foothills is often not a very interactive deck. It's like Eldrazi or Storm or Prowess. And Prowess, of course, is interactive. Yeah, our Tron opponent, I mean, they did build a 5, but then they had Dismember into Tron Ugin. They needed Dismember to have Tron. So they get a commercial district, so they're likely playing red-green Eldrazi. Could be Storm. Red-green Eldrazi, probably. Could be a Brew. I think we've played this matchup once, and I'm pretty sure that we won. So they rumble over Mycospawn, Talisman, Ugin, Devourer. Land would be really nice. If I draw a Thought-Knot Seer, or sorry, a Temple, do I cast Thought-Knot Seer? I don't know. They choose Devourer, so they have an Ugin's Labyrinth in their hand, which is interesting. Let's just go ahead and main phase Stoneforge Mystic so that I can stop them from casting a Mycospawn this turn. If they do have that Ugin's Labyrinth, they'll have all colorless mana here. Don't want to respond with Ephemerate now. They do go ahead and imprint the Devourer to the lab like we thought that they might. Thankfully, I guess it's good for me that they just main phase. Although next turn, they just concede. We were going to pass the turn with Ephemerate and Phelia up, and then if they K commanded end of turn, we could do the trick where we activate Stoneforge Mystic, hold priority Ephemerate, and then get the blade to our hand. So we're up a game against Eldrazi. I'm going to bring in the Phantoms. I think last time I ended up cutting the Kaldra and 2 Solitudes and kind of like that sideboard plan. And I think I do believe we beat them and the trophy run too. So I'm gonna go submit this. I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. Okay, we're on the draw for game 2 against Green Red Eldrazi. We have a hand that is fine. I think I would mulligan this if my opponent kept 7. My opponent mulliganed to 6, and so the fact that they're a little bit more likely to stumble and we just have a fine hands of lands and spells that could develop really well is going to have me keep. But I think if they like snap kept 7, then I think I'd be a lot more likely to mulligan this, if that makes sense. Did you cut a Thresher? I thought there were 4. No, there were always 3. Could play 4. So my opponent says no to a 2K commands a K return into Mycospawn, so they don't have a Temple or a Lab in their hand. They're digging for... They maybe don't even have another land at all. They play a Talisman on turn 2. They do have another land. It's a Stomping Ground. Interesting. And they have another Utopia Sprawl. Was not expecting them to have this much mana after saying no to all of this. But they probably don't have another colorless card. They have an Ice Till. Ice Till, no land. I guess I need Decay Command. Do I want to... I don't think I want to ephemerate the Thought-Knot Seer. I think I'd rather be able to ephemerate the Vestige next turn and maybe put Seer into play. They do have 2/7 drops. I guess I'll take the one that's a little bit better against me here. But let's hope my opponent doesn't draw a fetch land or an Eldrazi Temple or any land into middle land for the Ice Till. Kind of a precarious situation. They cast Rumble. They mill a Ghost Quarter. They mill a K Return, which is kind of crazy. So they can go play Ghost Quarter. Then they have 3, 4, 5 mana. So they are one short, right? 3, 4, 5, 6. The K Return in the yard is still like a nightmare. Now, maybe it's going to be better for me to... Yeah, I guess I probably just need to try to set up for a draw step Thought-Knot Seer, so... Although, I really do want to rebound the Ephemerate on the Vestige. Like, right at the moment, it doesn't seem like I'm going to get a very good Ephemerate rebound. I think that's going to have to be okay. Oh, I forgot that they took the World Breaker off the Rumble. Yeah, I guess we just need to... I mean, we're going to need to take both anyways. Yeah, I mean, with the Ice Till, I don't think the Phantom can really do that much, but it is kind of interesting with the Stomping Ground, right? With the Sprawl on it. So maybe I Ephemerate now because they're just going to be able to devour anyways. I guess I could take like Emrakul. And if they flashback K Return, they do kill their own. They do kill their own Emrakul. Or so their own Ice Till. But they also get to draw a bunch of cards. I feel like they could just beat with Ghost Quarter. Oh, I didn't notice I have all my basics in play here. What the hell? That's kind of unlucky. Although if they just draw nothing, we do have like 8 power in play. Like it's kind of a fast clock. Yeah, I didn't notice that we just have all of our basics in play. It's kind of funny. They don't know that. Yeah, they don't. They do play Temple instead of a Ghost Quarter. Then they play a Verdant Catacombs. I do want to main phase this so they can't stop me if they just wake up with the Ghost Quarters here. So obviously we need them to brick. However, we do also have a game 3 on the play if this doesn't go... If this turn goes poorly. They play Sanctum of Ugin, which is a little scary. They graveyard a Devourer. Or they mill Devourer. Then they play in Ugin's Labyrinth. They are not dead on board, notably. Maybe I should have gone for Phantom plus Phelia. I guess Phantom plus Phelia was lethal this turn, wasn't it? If I draw a land, I can Meteor Sword the Ice Till main phase 1. Is 4 mana too much for Sneak? I mean, not if it wins the game, it's probably fine. Is there any other difference? Right, I guess I'm going to keep this and just put back the Solitude on the mulligan. New match. Flying, Trample, Indestructible Haste. Other artifact creatures have Flying, Trample, Indestructible Haste. 9/9. Well, I've not seen Storm in a while. See, we just get turn 3 on the play. Cast enters tapped attacking. Cast only during blocker step by returning an unblocked creature. Okay. Doesn't exactly go in like the Labyrinth deck. Underworld Breach, let's go. It is gonna be so hard for me to like look at the art and know what the card is. It's just another fucking Ninja Turtle. All right, we're gonna go to game 2 over here. Glad we didn't cut the High Noons, although we do only have a couple of them. I think a couple High Noons plus the Purge. I guess the Purge, yeah, hitting the Talon's pretty good. Don't have much. Do I want to play Wrath Disguise for Ruby? Seems kind of narrow. We have Witch Enchanter for Ruby, I guess. I'm gonna cut 3 Vestiges, just kind of a little slow. There's a Sneak DT being printed. Sneak Demonic Tutor. I don't think that that's that interesting. You know, most decks would not play the card Demonic Tutor in their deck in Modern. Like Cabal Coffers would play it, and then like Tron would probably play it. Maybe Titan would play Demonic Tutor. Maybe Storm would maybe try to find a way to play Demonic Tutor. But like Boros Synergy would not play Demonic Tutor. You know, Prowess wouldn't play Demonic Tutor. Blink wouldn't play Demonic Tutor. So when you put that effect on like a sneak creature, you're going to be playing it in a deck that is more of just like a fair lands and spells, and I don't think that you typically would want to play it in the deck. Although, I mean, I haven't read the card. Maybe it'd be fine. Okay, so on the play for game 2 against Storm. Good news, we have a High Noon. I'm actually going to keep this hand. I know it's a little bit weird. We have the Vestige, so that if we draw a Temple, if we draw White Source, Imprintable, or Temple, we can turn 2 High Noon. I think that's just to keep on the play. Yeah, Bauble stops Ral ult. I don't know. We have Solitude, so I feel like that's maybe enough to cover the Rals, but you could play 1 or 2. So I didn't draw any of what I was hoping to draw. Also, there's some argument I think to not playing the Labyrinth, because now drawing an Imprintable means I can't do anything versus I could put a High Noon into play. My opponent missed their land. I do think I'm going to go for the Vestige here. And we get rewarded for playing the Labyrinth. Tapped High Noon. Oh no, they have WraTH. WraTH not Prismatic Ending is brutal. Like, I was thinking if they have Prismatic Ending this next turn, they take the turn off anyways. All right, well, let's go ahead and enchant. Shouldn't it be Disenchanter? Like, if you're destroying something, you're disenchanting. Although I guess enchanters typically would probably have some disenchanting training, I would think. ACRK, how's it going? In pretty good shape. We can deal with a Ruby, Artist Talent, or Ral right now, and we can start blowing up lands. This is kind of the main thing we don't want to see is a ritual. Ritual into land, into Ral. So this, they also have a Past in Flames in the yard. They definitely have another instant here if they're going to be ritualing before going land Ral. Like if they were going to not play around removal, right, they would have already rowed. So now let's Solitude. Although not losing the Ephemerate as 2 Stone Rains here is definitely a bummer. Well, pretty easy turn, I guess. Just gonna destroy an Elegant Parlor and then Thought-Knot Seer. Maybe Thought-Knot Seer's first is somehow better if their hand is like Ruby. Why do we Solitude with the fetch on the stack? Oh, I guess I should have. Sorry. Although if they cast the Reckless Impulse, then we would have not used the Ephemerate. They impulse into 2 lands. That's kind of awkward. I have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 with the Shefet Dunes, or 8, 9, 10 with the Meteor Sword. Does seem like to me just dealing them the most damage is relevant because of Ral. I think this is more relevant than casting a Vestige. Okay, I mean, I'll say I didn't think of Glimpse to give them 3 chump blockers. If this was on your radar, good for you. I do think I'm just gonna make them either make them chump block 2 and then go to 1 or keep a spawn. They have a Pass in Flames in the yard, so we need to make them lose as much mana as possible here. And like they need Ritual or Mountain Ritual as their 2 cards to get out of this. Okay, game 3 on the draw. Pretty cool game. Yeah, let's go to game 3. I don't think I want to bring in Vexing Bauble and then they play a Ral and I just can't Solitude it because I have Vexing Bauble in play. And I don't want to sack the Vexing Bauble to Solitude it either. Because then they'll like maybe flip in response. Just seems a bit awkward. I saw a double Temple. I'm like, oh, I can turn to Seer, but then I saw 5 white cards. Was sacking the land better than moving the sword onto Stoneforge? I guess it's not really. It is better, I think, right? I guess they go to 1 either way. Yeah, I guess it's not better. It's not really that different. Because there's just not going to be much else that happens this game. All right, let's keep both High Noons. We don't have a white source yet, but we do have double Temple and K command. We could maybe kill a Ral. We could maybe draw. Oh, sorry. I don't know why I put back. I think maybe I thought one of these was a Labyrinth. So should have kept the Stoneforge. They probably have another cost reducer if they're just playing the Ral like this. K command is going to be fine to keep. It's going to give me 2 extra looks at a white source for High Noon next turn. I'm surprised how much love seems to be pumped into the Turtle set. It feels like they cared about this, unlike how it felt like they were just getting the bag with Marvel sets or Assassin's Creed. Does that make sense? I guess what feels different to you about it? As someone who knows nothing about Turtles, I can't say that I've like really liked many of the cards yet. I haven't read most of them though. I'm surprised you keep with no white man in hand. I mean, I'm gonna keep double High Noon. I have 2 High Noons in my deck. We're playing at Storm. Let's keep. The upside here is so insane on the draw, and we have K command. So they got 1 mana after they cast this Glimpse. They've got 2 more cards in their hand. A lot of creators of Turtles did art. Cool. That's definitely sick. They have a Ral in Exile and a Valakut Awakening. And then they can't use them. And I find white mana. I cast High Noon. The Ral is gonna ultimate kind of fast. They have a prismatic ending. They always have the prismatic ending. Then they glimpse. I feel like glimpsing with no red mana up cannot possibly be correct. They do find a Past in Flames, though. We don't need to exile the Past in Flames right now. So they see a Rin's Resolve and a Manamorphose. Not too scary. Why not K-Combine then High Noon to smooth out draws? I guess we do get to K-Command for a little bit more. Although I was thinking that maybe I'd want to be able to like exile Past in Flames instead of doing this. So I wasn't exactly sure. But yeah, let's go. Sorry, I guess if I main phase Phelia, then yeah, I guess I should main phase K command and then Phelia on their turn. And I want to keep 2 spawns in place so I can Meteor Sword and flicker it. So let's go ahead and exile Past in Flames, Manamorphose, Pyretic Ritual, Impulse. Why is the interface just so bad? Literally don't even know what this card is. Although I guess it's a Manamorphose. Okay, I'm Scry Drawing. I'm exiling 1 Past in Flames, a Manamorphose, a Ritual, and a Glimpse. Oh my gosh. Not even the worst part about K Command, but can't you press down on the scroll wheel? Can you? I mean, if you can, you can. Don't think I care much about any of these. Although Battlefield Forge lets me sack High Noon. They also might be able to sniff that I've got Phelia and like kill my spawns here. Kind of hard for them to not plus the Ral though. They had a Manamorphose and a Wooded Foothills. So I don't know how much the recurring land destruction is going to matter against the 5 spawn tokens they have. But it seems it's obviously good to get the Ral off the field, and they're not going to be able to stick a lock piece. And I can maybe get them off of all of their red mana too. They put Hardened Scales on a 2 mana value creature with pay 1 sack, put a +1 counter on the creature. Okay. It's a legend. It's not an artifact. Oh, it makes a mutagen token. Okay. Which is pay 1, put a counter on a creature. I don't know how interesting this is if it's not an artifact. Maybe it's a little interesting. Yeah, cutting them off white mana is nice. Oh, they surveil a Past in Flames in the yard, although the High Noon is still holding strong for now. How many white sources do they play? They probably have 3 total, right? Plus Manamorphose, although Manamorphose doesn't count. Okay, there's a High Noon in play, so there's no need to like fish for something right now. Opponent hits a Wear Tear, and they hit a Prismatic Ending, and they have white mana. So let's exile more of their graveyard and dig for a Thought-Knot Seer. Okay, so I'm going to scry X. I'm going to exile 6 cards from their graveyard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my god. 1, 2, 3, 4. Another sword to kill the fetch. It's kind of tough to have the... It doesn't really matter because they can still kill the High Noon too, right? I think I'm bottoming all of these. None of them seem very helpful. I can't cast Meteor Sword either. I don't have enough mana. Although now I could cast it. Hard to know that. Hard to play around like the last card being an Ugin's Labyrinth though. Look at my grave. Look at this graveyard. Also, like having one of the red white lands would have been nice to just like they have to start blocking the Phelia. Yeah, maybe I should just grab the Displacer and like blinked a couple tokens too. Like that might have just been enough better than the average draw here. I would have only been able to blink. I would have been able to blink 2. You could have held the land. They might chump for fear of a red source. Yeah, this seems like that would have been relatively free. Jumping anyways. Zamboni with the 13 months. It's been a million years. Nice to see you still going strong. Well, I'm glad you're back. At least, if only just visiting. Yeah, they might just Prismatic Ending my Phelia this turn, and then I get to go play another Phelia, then a Kaldra. Crazy match. Could lose. I mean, their graveyard's pretty handled. They do have a lot of mana. They only have 4 cards in their hand. They start with an Impulse. This reveals a Desperate Ritual and an Artist Talent. Crazy game would be a crummy game to lose. I think it'd be a fun game to lose, honestly. They cast the Artist Talent. Now that right now they don't have the mana to Prismatic Ending the Phelia. They do have a Prismatic Ending in their exile zone. Seems like my opponent's going to decide that they need to sack the spawn token and cast their ritual. This one might be like out of fetchables. They have 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 fetchables out. They probably have 1 more basic mountain. Maybe 2. They do cast the ritual. They get to discard a card, draw a card. They discard a copy of Wish. What does that say about their hand? Not a lot, probably. Why haven't we seen Arclight Dredge forever? I don't know. It was really popular, and we were having some good results with it. And it was doing well in some challenges, and then people stopped playing it. Just weird overall. Let's keep the 7. I think I'll put back the Kaldra. The play against Boros again. Okay, good to play some more of the Boros matchup. They do have a Ragavan though. So I'm gonna grab a Meteor Sword. Am I going to? I guess I'll block. It's like we're vindicating the Ragavan, assuming we even have the opportunity to block. Surprised to hear Twin can hang. Twin is like weirdly just now kind of okay again because they printed a better Exarch. That's a wizard for Flame Ovenor. But for the most part, it's Twin has been like unplayable the whole time it's been unbanned. How good would pre-war Formaware be if it was that? I mean, we don't have that much stuff to recur with it. I don't know a lot about how good that card is in general, but it's probably fine. Again, I'm gonna try to play around. I'm gonna try to play around Mana Tithe. Gonna bottom Thought-Knot Seer. Just saw Jitte on the bonus sheet, unbanned and common. Has there ever been an example of a card on the bonus sheet being... Damn it. Okay, we can draw Plains or Vestige. Okay, nice, we drew the Vestige. Has there been ever been an example of something like that happening? Like there's this card's on the bonus sheet, and now that means it was unbanned because it was on the bonus sheet. Yeah, thank you, Vestige. So they jump onto the cat. That makes sense. This is pretty nice pickup here. Chase in A25. What's A25? The film studio. Oh, that's right. I remember there was Uro in the secret lair, and so they and then they did say it was going to get banned soon. I remember that. So one thing that's annoying about Goblin Bombardment is that it's hard to take a bunch of extra damage. They're also not like screaming strength. They ping my Witch Enchanter instead of pinging me. I'm gonna keep Vestige, and I guess I could keep both. Yeah, keeping both lets me play the second Phelia, and it lets me hard cast this Vestige. So they kill my Witch Enchanter, then I play Phelia. So now I think what I'm gonna do is warp this Vestige so that I'm able to flicker it. Maybe that doesn't make sense. Yeah, actually doesn't. I don't think that makes as much sense as just casting this, although definitely not in great shape. Could put this into play also. They also have 2 spells in their hand. Seems like they're thinking about sacking 2 things to kill my Phelia. The reason for warping was to be able to put sword in hand. Yeah. Although if we draw a land, we'll be able to like Vestige or sword into play soon. So it seems like they have decided to not... okay. We're back to thinking. Now we've entered the beginning of combat step. Can Vestige the other Vestige in with the blink? Yep, that's the goal. All right, they sack a Guide of Souls and another guide. Probably the Pride. Yeah. Okay. Fun game. So we're going down to 9, which is basically 8, which is basically 7 because of the painful the pain we need to cast this Phelia. We definitely don't want to like main phase it to play around Mana Tithe, better to play around Flage, I think. They do nothing despite having 3 spells in their hand. Is it like all Goblin Bombardments? Maybe Season Pyromancer makes some sense, obviously. I think we might as well warp this. And then am I ever going to put the sword into play, or am I always putting Solitude into play? I think I'm always putting Solitude into play, so I would want to keep this mana to cast K command, Thought-Knot Seer, etc. So I guess I could never. For some reason I was thinking if I drew a land, I could put it into play, but that's not how that works, is it? All right, so they discharge. So we're gonna attack for 7, and then when this warps, we're gonna put Solitude into play. Can gain me 7 life if I kill my own Vestige. Kind of an interesting option with the Witch Enchanter now to do that, but I think we're just gonna target Guide of Souls. I'm kind of new to the format, wondering where people find learning resources. I picked up Jeskai Blinking, looking for matchup, sideboard advice. Don't know where to begin looking. For Jeskai Blink, it's kind of I'm not sure who to point you to. On this channel, we do like a lot of brewing and trying to innovate and play a bunch of weird stuff, which may not be exactly what you're looking for. Yeah, there is. Okay, so we'll put this in our hand. I would recommend looking at YouTube. Looking at Goldfish for deck list is always a good move too. We're one short of imprinting again to cast this vestige. So they do kill the Solitude. I wasn't sure if they were going to do this. And so the vestige is a 2-turn clock here. They should have just fresh cards in their hand because they Spyro, discarding Spyro. Very weird game. They choose Guide of Souls after some deliberation. That's one of 3 cards in their hand now. They Graveyard a Flage off the Elegant Parlor. That is pretty bad because now if they find Arena of Glory and we don't draw like a Solitude or a K command, that'll get me, even if I Meteor Sword or Red Source. What could my opponent be thinking about with they've got 2 cards in their hand. One of them is a Guide of Souls. I guess they just have another 1-drop. Okay, it is just another 1-drop. It's a Ragavan. So I've drawn Thought-Knot Seer. Can I Thought-Knot Seer and do something else? I cannot. So I can Meteor Sword. I can Thought-Knot Seer the Guide of Souls. One thing that's really awkward about not Thought-Knot Seering the Guide of Souls is all of a sudden the Vestiges aren't lethal attackers. Although maybe that's just kind of fine. Oh, but they also get to go. I'm dead. I'm dead if I don't Thought-Knot Seer Guide of Souls. I guess that makes it easier, although it's a bit of a bummer to not be able to double spell or anything. But they get to go Guide of Souls, jump Ranger Captain or the creature that doesn't block here. So we'll make them chump block. And if they top deck Arena of Glory, we'll tilt. Notably, sacking Shefet Dunes next turn makes these 2 cards lethal together. Although I guess not if they Flage. Where are they going to Flage? They might just Flage me. Probably should just Flage me. Yeah, they just Flage me. So am I in need of a top deck? I guess I am. Since if I Meteor Sword, they just escape again. Tough game to lose. Tough game to lose. All right, we're bringing the WraTH, gonna bring in the Purge, getting the Displacer and the Seers. Yeah, just the Entomb Flage, just so tough in those spots. We had the Thought-Knot Seer the Guide of Souls. I mean, we could have Meteor Sworded a land and hope they don't draw a land, but being dead to a land seems tough. Oh, is there Magic Online maintenance tomorrow? Because don't they usually do maintenance like the week before a new set comes out? And technically there's new turtles coming out. Can someone check on that for me? Sword 1 blocker, force the other to chump. Doesn't that survive Guide plus Flage? I guess it does survive Guide plus Flage. Then we're still dead to the Flage Escape next turn though, aren't we? Maybe if we equip Sword on Thought-Knot Seer, then we have 7. Then they block one of the 7 power creatures, take 9. Actually, I think that's exactly lethal. No, they're at 10 because they have Guide plus Flage. They go to 1. Okay, on the play for game 2 against Boros, we have a turn 2 Combat Thresher, which is obviously it's not super powerful, but with all the extra mana, the cards, this should be fine, especially on the play. They're on a mold of 6, and they keep their 6 really fast. Dude, after we drew the Vestige to put the Enchanter into play, I was really thinking we're gonna get there. Then we got a turn 1 Guide of Souls. We're gonna go Lab and print a sword. 1/1 double striker, draw a card. Well, definitely like that our sideboard plan involves 4 cards that just kind of win the game right now. Wrath of Skies, Wrath of God. Do have to draw one of them, which we haven't done yet, although it looks like to me what we want to do this turn is probably just scry draw digging for one. Although we'll see, like, if does my opponent play Blood Moon? If they play Blood Moon, does my plan change? We could also go Phelia plus K command. So like if they attack with both prides, we can K command one of them and block the other with Phelia. So I think it'd be pretty tough to pass up on that. So we'll see if they make that attack or not. Two cats never makes sense, right? How could this ever be the right attack? It's like one or nothing. All right, we got 4 outs and we have 4 looks, 5 looks, I guess. Plus another K command would dig us really, really deep, or pretty deep with the extra spawns. All right, not a Wrath, not a Wrath, not a Wrath, not a K command. Maybe Solitude is live now. So this could be Solitude, or this could be Lunchtime. All right, Lunchtime. All right, I mean, I still like the Meteor Sword deck. Maybe we had a really hot first league with it. Seems somewhat playable, but Boros matchup does seem tougher than it was, I think, in those first couple matches. Back tomorrow. I got a lot of stuff I'm working on. I guess nobody checked if there's maintenance. I could check if there's maintenance tonight. So, I guess let me just do that now so I can announce if there's no stream. Because if there's maintenance tomorrow, I'm going to take the day off.